Greetings here on a rainy Saturday. This is a question I get asked quite a bit. What's it like to be on a ship? So I always tell people to request access to go on a ship because they will let you. You'll be on one eventually. So just to be clear again, I always want to be clear about this. I mean, obviously we know it's AI photographs, but don't assume the stuff that you see that's AI is real. Use your own discernment. This actually came out pretty good. The ship that I have back home looks a lot like this, that really shiny, silvery kind of thing. My ship back home is not something that you would go, long distances. It's just for kind of fooling around, getting errands done, that kind of thing. I was brought onto a Pleiadian scout ship because they want me to share concepts of technology. And I'm not very good with math or anything like that. So I'm just kind of like, why would you pick me to do this? And so there are so many people, friends of mine, that are superb when it comes to technology. So I guess they wanted to kind of highlight the metaphysical, shamanic, whatever you want to call it, aspects to what I do. Because I act intuitively, I don't understand a lot of technology. So what I do when I do it is intuitive. And I think what they were trying to do, like I said, it's just my guess. I think they were trying to present understandings of technology that is beyond the physical aspects, the intellectual aspects, that kind of thing. That's just my guess, anyway. So the interior of the ship was this kind of, I like the way this actually came out because it wasn't too bad. So the ship didn't look like this, by the way. I couldn't get AI to do exactly what I saw and what they were showing me. But yeah, it had this really dreamlike, because it's a higher density. We were at least 5. I've been 6. So it was border. I mean, it definitely felt very high five. Hey, high five. It's like, maybe that's where that came from. So anyway, it was a white blue color, the furniture's inside there. So yeah, I was brought inside the ship, and they were showing me specific things, and it was a Pleiadian type scout. So we are to show humanity this technology, and that's what they said. So the interior again is this really soft, warm blue, light gray kind of thing. It was definitely 5th density. You can feel that in your body. So I'm trying to figure out while I was there, I'm like, oh my God, how am I going to describe this? I don't think words can describe this. Very unusual, peaceful, yet very focused feeling, which is kind of interesting because it's just hard to, I don't know, it's like very, very interesting. It's Zen in a way, but you're like focused. So thought and sensory awareness is very lifted. It has this dreamlike but very real present sensation. So the ship senses you, and you definitely sense it. So you guys become kind of connected. It's nothing like driving a car, nothing. And I would say, well, maybe it's like riding a horse because I ride horses. No, no. The only thing I can compare is if you do ride a horse, is that union of thought. Because with a horse, you're adding your body into it as well. So you're having a conversation with someone that's outside of you in order to go somewhere, right? It's like or to do something. The horse has its own mind, so you're having a conversation with the horse. The ship doesn't question you. I guess that's you don't. You get on a horse and the horse is like, well, let's see how this is. You're having a negotiation with another consciousness that has its own mind, that has its own desires. The ship doesn't really have its own desires, so you're not negotiating. I'll give you a cookie if we go to Venus. No, it's like there's a different kind of experience. It's different, and the the lightness of it is different. Like there's always that density on Earth, which really grinds me. I don't like that feeling that it just feels really heavy. And you don't have that in a ship. So in this interior, kind of like cradled inside, and you're kind of held in this really neat emotional warmth. You don't feel self-conscious. All those negative emotions you have, not that you can't have them, that you could. I mean, there's definitely situations. I've been on ships where we've been in very tense situations. Like, right? So they're not always like, oh, it's so zen, Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. No. This one, though, they specifically set it out this way because they were wanting me to focus on that aspect of it, which has to do with the intuitive sensations. So I was told that they want humans. Sometimes I'm going to say Terrans sometimes. I hate to say that because it's so like cliche and it makes it sound like, oh, we're going to use this stupid term. But sometimes I'm going to use that with full understanding that it sounds nerdy or whatever. That is what they say. But Earth human, after a while, gets I have to say too many words. I'm lazy. But they want Earth humans to understand the technology, their technology. So not the Earth stuff, theirs. And there's no manual. It's not and that's the thing. I'm trying to specifically be clear about that. Humans have this obsession with doing things a certain way. And they want to say you got to get out of that mindset. So there's no manual. It's not a thing of pure function like a lawnmower. And this is where humans got to get off of that. Oh my God. I think that's part of the Earth human that just drives me crazy. Is this fixation on like following the numbers, coloring in the lines, like, the functionality of a lawnmower you got to get, you don't have to, but I mean, if you ever want to progress and honestly survive at this point, you're going to go extinct if you don't understand this. This is literally, you need to understand this if you want to survive. You guys have, not you guys, it's like Earth humanity like has this like a flat, soulless, utilitarian purposefulness, just so dead. I don't know how else to describe it. Oh God. Anyway, it's what makes my life here just like so hard because it's just soul sucking. I don't know. Anyway, there's this experience of being in interaction with all that is consciousness. It's consciousness. That's what you guys need to understand. It's a dream zone of purpose. It's peace in physicality. It's like you can touch peace. Peace is a solid living form and not visible, but its essence is guiding everything. It's an expression of consciousness itself. Energy responding to your energy, because everything's energy. People always misunderstand when I talk about why I don't like being around people. It isn't that I don't like the way they look or blah, blah, blah. It's an energy field that really is uncomfortable for me. I also feel like there's some kind of material element or mineral that is in Earth humans that I don't connect to for some reason. And there's just something that repels me. And I don't mean repel in the sense of, there's an energetic repelling. So on the ship, there's a sense of, no denseness, only intuition. It's not a floating feeling. It's very solid, but it's not dense. There's this knowing, the same knowing that the baby turtle moving towards the light when he goes to the sea. It's floating in water, supported by the drift of the currents, by the flowing of the waves. So when I was there looking at the console, I thought, okay, let me connect down. Okay, how am I going to? At first, I'm just thinking like, oh my God, how do I explain it? I can't explain this. I could telepath it. Like somebody, if you tap into your ability to telepath, everyone can do this. You can feel what I felt, which would have been so much easier. But I tried to bring myself back to thinking of Earth, and I really couldn't. And I never wanted to go back to that again. I'm like, oh God, that was the most gross, like, I can't even, like, oh, no, nope. I thought about 3D, and I'm like, okay, I got to try to ground it. Let me see if I can get into 3D. There's no way. And it was like Earth didn't even exist anymore. It was far away. It was just, I just didn't even, I was happy. I was really happy. Like I could never get that low again. And it was just out of my consciousness and beyond any registering. Like being in that harshness never existed. But 5D is a state of being, intuition and conception. So I'm not even back home, I'm not always in 5D. We're in 4D, and you go about your business, you're cooking, you're cleaning, you're doing the same stuff. But I never remember feeling the harshness, the not that everybody on like Era is this great, wonderful person. No, of course not. I mean, it's not a Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood thing either. But there's just a different sensation. Like you don't have news, I don't watch the news anyway, but I mean, it's just like you can feel it in the ether. It's like all of the darkness that humans are spewing everywhere, it's like it's in the ether. So even though you don't watch the news and you don't get involved in anything, it's like, it's just like there, and it is gross. So 5D doesn't have that. You're not getting those frequencies of grossness and filth and nastiness and negativity. The conceptual are all one. So forgetting the physics, but not the material. Forget what you think and what you think. Forget thinking, So this is not a realm of reason or degrees or all those things that humans do. Oh, I've spent 5,000 years in schools, bow down to me, I know more about you. You don't actually, and I think that's the thing. I have a PhD. But, that doesn't I don't know. It's just, humans are so combative. There's that combativeness. No, like you're not bringing tools to the table. You enter a room with a bunch of people and it's all about taking each other down. That's psychopaths. It's just, yeah. I don't, yeah. So, yeah, this is not a realm of reason, but one of feeling. You feel. So in this picture, the lighting isn't so bad here. If you can kind of blow it up and feel this, just feel it. You feel, therefore it becomes. It's almost like I wanted to play with Descartes with that, like I think, therefore I am, and saying he was completely wrong here. He was completely wrong. It's not thinking which makes you, it's feeling. It's vibration. That's what makes you. So that's not it. And they're like, and I just feel like, that's not it. That's not it. And when I was talking about, like Descartes, when I mentioned that, and they're like, no, that's not it. That's not it. Thinking is not it. It's wrong. Knowing the engineering as it is in thought, in process, is not anything that you need. It's just not going to do it. You know what? It's like you want to build a house and you get all the materials and you just lay them down and you don't build a house. It's just, there's just something missing. There's something, because there's kinetic movement to building a house, right? When you build a house. But it's like having all your materials without the kinetic movement. So the house is never going to get built. So humanity has never created a ship like this. Now, I'm not saying you guys don't have electrogravitic propulsion systems. You do. Oh, you do. Humans have these things. The ones they built themselves. But they're nothing like ours. They're nothing like upstairs. They've never created a ship. They've only built machines, okay? Completely wrong. This is what they were telling me. Completely wrong. They did not understand, because they're coming from a place that's not in a good place. I mean, I think we all understand that. The people that were building these UFOs, right, here on Earth, were building them for the wrong reasons, coming out of a very negative, no love, nasty place of greed and aggression and violence and warfare. Just the concept of national security is violent, right? That's a nasty thing. That's fear. That's like, we got to no, nobody can know about this because it's, it's going to keep us safe, to keep it quiet. So that means that you actually have other beings out there on your own planet, on the same planet, that want to foment violence and aggression. And then it's a cycle. I don't know how that's going to go away. It's not my business. It's not my job here. It's not the piece of the puzzle I'm putting in. But they were saying, they don't get it. They don't understand. They just cannot, they could not understand. You must use your soul. You must feel. You cannot use the intellect, for that is the path that will lead you down the opposite path. It is making a cloud out of stone. You're trying to make clouds out of stones. This is what humans, I'm like, yeah, right. They're rolling down the wrong railroad path. They just don't get it. Yeah. Your minds are stone, your bodies are stone, the materials you're using are stone, and you're trying to make a cloud. And you keep fighting and killing each other and figuring and trying, right, let's just do this. Let's get more degrees. Let's get smarter people. You're never going to make a cloud out of a stone. They don't think. Don't think. You just need to stop thinking. Feel and know. But it's all money and greed and fear and money. And it's just like this broken record, you guys. How do you teach a stone to be a cloud? That's what it feels like. How do you teach a stone to be a cloud? Humans reverse engineering the craft, they did, are going deeper and deeper in the wrong direction. Into the consciousness of the work is set hatred, fear, and destruction, greed. This can never work. As the snake devouring its tail, the further they go, the less they exist. Understand that this is a technology that is birthed, created, and that cannot hold such harsh vibrations. Humanity must get past the how, the what, the purpose. What buttons do you push? What manual do you study? This is interaction, not use. Feel into knowing, not what is said, not what is done, what is felt. And I just want to add here, breaking off what they were talking about, I want to add a quote from a book, Mass Contacts by Stefan Brescia. And it's from the beings that were there, the extraterrestrials, the W56s. Now, the W56s were not calling themselves, they've been here on Earth. What they were saying you can tell I'm a professor. On page 242, right? Well, you can find it, right? And that's to make it easier. So, Mass Contact, Stefan Brescia, page 242. The chapter was some of their teachings, the W56s. And the UMO, by the way, the Umites, go to the search out stuff from Spain, the extraterrestrial, UFO, alien, whatever you want to call it, stuff that comes out of Spain. So the UMO were working predominantly with the Spanish, also in South America. So check them out. Check out those websites. You'll see quite a bit of very close contact, massive group contacts between the UMO and these Earth civilizations. So the explanations of humanity's lack of understanding and intense inability to comprehend unity and the supreme importance of universal love is the impediment that limits their advancements, as it will limit their survivability as a race. Yeah. We have to thank the forces that make up the universe, as the W56s instruct, and now we are at a very high level in our path of evolution. Not an evolution in our bodies, but above all, in our souls. And I add this, humans greatly mistake evolution as physical and genetic. It is not that. Evolution is spiritual. Okay, going back to them. The ones who have resorted to technicalities only have degenerated, for even they have died as a people. Because if you base all of your society, science, you must take great care to prevent anything from going wrong. And if it happens, so you are lost. Unfortunately, you are going in this way, and you are going to face serious problems in your near future. Yeah, so I'm just going to end it with that. It's just a warning, I think. Yeah. You guys, if you don't wake up, if you stop being, jerks, like you stop, like, yeah, you're not going to make it. You're going to go extinct. So there's only so much that other beings, as the W56s were pleading, they're pleading with humans, unity, unity. If you guys don't grow up, you're not going to make it. And the extraterrestrials that are busting their asses here, either in Earth bodies or in their own bodies, can't save you from yourself. You're going to have another Atlantis if you don't wake up. So, yeah, I hope you choose the right decision there, right? So anyway, blessings and grace to all.